In Basel, Switzerland, there is a building. No customers, no advertising, no public shareholders. It cannot be taxed, it cannot be audited, it cannot be seized by any government on earth. It has been running since 1930, through the Great Depression, through World War II, through the Cold War, through the 2008 financial crisis. It never closed, not even during World War II, when individuals representing both sides of the conflict sat on its board simultaneously. In 1944, at Bretton Woods, the United States formally proposed shutting it down. It survived. Today it sits at the center of the system connecting every central bank on earth, quietly shaping the rules they follow. No public vote, no elected oversight, no announcement. It is called the Bank for International Settlements. And the fact that almost nobody knows it exists was never an accident. Stay with me, because what this institution is building right now, in 2026, will affect every transaction you make, every savings account you hold, and every currency you use. And it is being constructed in the same Basel building, in the same secrecy, without asking you. The BIS was not built to serve you. It was built to serve the system. Specifically, the system of war reparations that emerged from the Treaty of Versailles in 1919. Germany owed the Allied nations a debt so enormous it could not be paid in a single transaction. The logistics of moving billions in gold and currency across borders required a dedicated institution, a neutral clearinghouse that could process the payments without political interference. The BIS opened its doors in Basel in May 1930. Basel was chosen deliberately. Switzerland was neutral. Its banking secrecy was absolute. Its legal system could be shaped to protect the institution's operations from any government's reach. The Hague Convention of 1930 gave the BIS something no other financial institution on earth possessed: diplomatic immunity. Not just for the institution, for its officials, for its buildings, for its archives. No Swiss police could enter. No Swiss court could compel testimony. No Swiss tax authority could assess a bill. The BIS was placed legally outside the jurisdiction of every nation on earth, including the nation hosting it. Within months of opening, the reparations system it was built to manage collapsed. The Great Depression had arrived. Germany defaulted. The reparations framework disintegrated. The BIS had lost its original purpose before it had processed its first full year of payments. Here's what any ordinary institution would have done: closed. Here's what the BIS did. It found a new purpose. Central bank governors, the men who controlled the money supply of every major economy, began meeting privately at the BIS, monthly, in Basel, away from politicians, away from parliaments, away from the public. The institution designed to manage German reparations quietly transformed itself into something far more consequential: the private meeting place of the world's most powerful financial officials. And nobody announced the transformation. Now here's where the story stops being about 1930 and becomes something that should be in every history book but isn't. Because what happened inside that Basel building between 1933 and 1945, while the world was at war, is the most documented and least discussed chapter in modern financial history. In September 1939, Germany invaded Poland. World War II had begun. The BIS board of directors met to decide what to do. Their decision was extraordinary. They voted to remain open. Not just open, operational, processing transactions, receiving deposits, earning interest from both sides. The board at this point included representatives from the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve, the Reichsbank, and the central banks of occupied nations simultaneously. Men whose countries were at war with each other, sitting on the same board, voting on the same transactions. The BIS president from 1940 to 1946 was an American citizen named Thomas McKittrick, not a German, not a Swiss, an American. McKittrick ran the BIS throughout the entire war from inside Basel while the United States was fighting Nazi Germany. On his watch, the BIS accepted gold from the German Reichsbank, not ordinary gold. In 1939, days after German troops occupied Prague, the BIS transferred Czechoslovak gold reserves held in London to the Nazi Reichsbank. The transfer order had been issued under duress, the Czechoslovak Central Bank acting under German occupation. The BIS processed it. By the war's end, the BIS had received 3.7 tons of gold from the Reichsbank that had been looted from the central banks of Belgium and the Netherlands. This was not a secret after the war. It was investigated. It was documented. It was confirmed. The BIS returned the 3.7 tons to the Allied Tripartite Commission in 1948, but it was not closed. It was not prosecuted. It was not dissolved. In 1944, at Bretton Woods, the United States formally moved to abolish it. The resolution passed. The resolution passed to BIS was to be dissolved at the earliest possible moment. European central bankers lobbied against the resolution. By 1948, the dissolution order had been quietly set aside. The BIS survived, intact, immune, unreformed, and almost nobody reported what had happened inside it during the war. Now here's what happened after the war, because this is where the BIS stopped being a historical curiosity and became the institution that shapes the financial rules you live under right now. Every rule your bank follows, every capital requirement, every lending limit, written in Basel, by people you never elected. After 1945, the BIS rebuilt. It found its third purpose. In the 1970s, as the Bretton Woods system collapsed and currencies began floating freely, central banks needed somewhere to coordinate. The BIS became that somewhere. Monthly meetings in Basel, central bank governors arriving quietly. No press conferences, no public agendas, no minutes released. The decisions made in those meetings shaped global monetary policy, interest rate coordination, currency intervention, financial stability frameworks, without a single elected official in the room. Then came the Basel Accords. In 1988, the BIS published the first Basel Accord, a set of rules determining how much capital banks must hold against their loans. Every bank in America operates under these rules, every bank in Europe, every bank in China. Basel I, Basel II, Basel III, written in Switzerland by a committee of central bankers, accountable to no electorate. Your mortgage terms, your savings account interest rate, the amount of money your bank can lend. All shaped by frameworks designed in a building in Basel that you have never voted on and were never asked about. Here's the detail that matters. The Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, which writes these rules, is housed at the BIS. It has no legal personality of its own. Its decisions have no formal legal force. And yet, every major economy on Earth implements them. Not because they must, because the alternative, being seen as outside the Basel framework, would signal to global financial markets that your banking system is unsafe. The compliance is voluntary. The pressure is total. This is how the BIS operates, not through legal compulsion, through the architecture of financial legitimacy. If you follow the rules, you are inside the system. If you do not, the system treats you as a risk. No government has ever successfully defied the Basel framework and emerged financially unscathed. Before we go further, I want your answer in the comments. The BIS survived a formal abolition resolution at Bretton Woods in 1944, processed gold during World War II, has never been externally audited, and writes the rules every bank on Earth follows. Is that the most powerful institution nobody talks about? Or is it simply doing necessary work that has to happen somewhere outside political interference? Drop your answer below, because what it is building right now makes that question more important than ever. In 2026, the BIS is building something new. It is called Project Nexus, a global payment infrastructure connecting every nation's domestic payment system into a single unified network. The stated purpose is efficiency, faster cross-border payments, lower transaction costs, financial inclusion. These are real benefits. But here's what Project Nexus also makes technically possible. Every transaction from every connected nation flowing through a single unified network, monitored, recorded, potentially programmable. The BIS is simultaneously coordinating the development of Central Bank Digital Currencies, CBDCs, across multiple nations. The CBDC is not simply a digital version of existing money. It is programmable money, money that can be set to expire, money that can be restricted to certain categories of purchases, money that can be frozen, not by a court order, but by a parameter change in a database. The BIS published a report in 2023 outlining the blueprint for a future monetary system built on tokenized money and programmable payments. Nobody voted on this blueprint. Nobody was asked. The same institution that processed looted gold in 1944 without public knowledge is designing the infrastructure of your financial future in 2026 with the same level of public consultation, which is to say, none. And here's the question that history forces when you look at what the BIS has done and what it is building. Not whether the institution is evil, not whether the people inside it have bad intentions, but something more fundamental about power and who holds it and what happens when nobody is watching. The BIS has operated for 96 years. In that time, it has never been audited by an independent external body, never been subject to freedom of information requests, never had its board elected by anyone outside the central banking community. It survived the Great Depression, survived World War II, survived Bretton Woods, survived the collapse of the gold standard. survived the 2008 financial crisis. Every crisis that destroyed other institutions made the BIS more central, more necessary, more powerful. This is the pattern, not conspiracy, not malevolence. Simply the institutional logic of an organization that exists outside democratic accountability, accumulating influence precisely because it operates in the space between nations, where no single government can reach. The German saver in 1923 did not know about the BIS. The British worker in 1946 did not know about the BIS. The American homeowner in 2008 did not know that the Basel II rules, written in that Basel building, had shaped the capital requirements that allowed the mortgage crisis to develop. Understanding that this institution exists, understanding what it does and what it is building, does not guarantee protection. But it is the beginning of the only kind of protection that has ever worked, knowing what you are inside. Nixon made his decision in 1971 without asking you. The nations building alternative financial systems are making their decisions without asking you, and the BIS is designing the infrastructure of programmable money in 2026 without asking you. The question is not whether these decisions are being made. The question is whether you understand them before they are complete. Is the BIS a necessary institution doing work that has to happen somewhere outside political interference? Or the most unaccountable financial body in human history? Drop your answer below. If this connected something most financial coverage never connects, subscribe. The next episode goes deeper into what programmable money actually means for your savings, your freedom, and your options.